When Emily first moved into the shared house, she imagined a peaceful blend of quiet and camaraderie. It was her first time living away from her parents, and she was eager for the independence that came with her own space. The house had a cozy, lived-in feel, with mismatched furniture and framed art from various local thrift stores. The other two housemates, Lena and Jack, had been living there for a while and seemed friendly enough during the brief meet and greet. Lena was a calm presence. She spent most of her time reading books, tending to the small indoor plants that dotted the house, and cooking simple, healthy meals. She was the type of person who made sure everyone had enough space and respected privacy. Emily loved how peaceful it felt to come home to the soft hum of a playlist and the smell of lemon-scented candles. Lena always made sure to send a quick good night text before bed. A small, comforting gesture that felt like a reminder of the warmth of home. But then there was Jack. At first, he was charming. A bit too charming, Emily thought. He'd always flash a grin whenever they crossed paths in the hallway, as though everything was just one big joke to him. While Lena was quiet and tidy, Jack was loud and messy. His music was always blaring in the living room, the volume cranked up even if he wasn't home, making it impossible for anyone else to concentrate. He'd leave dirty dishes in the sink for days and then act surprised when someone mentioned it. And his idea of helping with cleaning was to toss things around haphazardly until it looked fine. The worst part was his constant stream of visitors. Sometimes, Emily would come home from work to find the living room overflowing with strangers, some of whom she had never seen before. They'd sprawl across the furniture, laughing loudly or arguing over trivial things. It wasn't that Emily minded having people over, but it was the unpredictability and the sheer number of them that drained her. Every time she asked Jack if he could keep the noise down, he'd just shrug and promise to do better, only to forget 5 minutes later. One afternoon, after another long, tiring day at work, Emily walked into the house to find Jack and his friends playing video games on the couch. Pizza boxes scattered across the coffee table. She noticed a stack of unopened mail on the counter, the top one addressed to her. As she reached for it, Jack caught her eye and gave a half-hearted wave. "Hey, Emily," he said, not even looking away from the screen. "Sorry about the noise. I'll turn it down in a sec." But Emily knew that a sec was a euphemism for hours. She stood there, exhausted and frustrated, before realizing that maybe the only way to deal with the situation was to take a deep breath and be as calm as Lena. Instead of snapping, she smiled faintly and said, "I'm going to make some tea. Want some?" Jack's face softened for a moment. "Yeah, sure. I'll help clean up in a bit." Later that evening, after the guests had left and the apartment was quiet again, Emily sat down at the kitchen table with Lena, who had made her usual soothing jasmine tea. "You know," Emily said, stirring the mug, "it's hard to balance everything here. Jack's not bad, just a lot." Lena nodded thoughtfully. "It's not easy, living with different personalities, but it's about finding moments of peace and choosing your battles. He's not the worst, and sometimes it's the small moments that make it all work." Emily sighed, grateful for the wisdom Lena always seemed to offer. Maybe living with Jack and Lena was a lesson in patience and compromise. A reminder that every housemate, easy or difficult, was a part of the bigger picture. And that night, Emily fell asleep to the soft hum of the city outside, feeling just a little more at home.